or so session module where we'll be doing cloud hands. And today we're going to learn the arms that go through cloud hands, see more of it, and realize that some of the things we were doing last week are directly applicable to cloud hands. So we're going to really start getting into that today, and we're going to review everything we did last week. So any of you who weren't here last week are absolutely welcome to be in this class and catch up today, because you'll, I believe, be able to do just about everything that we're doing. So just for those of you who weren't here last week, I wanted to remind you that you want to take a good look around in your space. You want to do that every time. Just make sure that whatever you're doing, when you get interested in what your body's doing, I don't want you bumping into anything. So just take note now of what's out there that you might be bumping into when we're doing stuff. Because you may not be looking where you're stepping, those kinds of things. You may be thinking about something else. We're going to be doing things that will challenge your attention and your body. And so we want to keep our balance, and we want to make sure we're safe. So it's up to you to keep yourself safe. And we have a 70% rule. I mentioned that last week. 70% rule is don't ever go to your full limit. Don't ever feel like, oh, she's telling me to do that. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure, and I'll just push my limit to the max. Don't do that. 70%. If you do it 70% all the time, you should be fine. You'll be in a nice safe zone, and little by little, that safe zone will get bigger all the time. So third thing we talked about last week is that I really appreciate it if you give me feedback. You can, if you want to give nonverbal feedback, you can go, not working for me, or something like that. Nobody else is really going to see you because they're probably all just seeing me large on the screen. But I can see each of you, and I may notice that. Even better is if you have your sound on, or you just want to put your sound on. Interruptions are generally fine. And questions are certainly fine, and I'll be asking for that a lot. And the more comments we have, we learn from each other, and we found a lot of that out last week. I found what other people said really interesting, and I hope you did too when you were there. So does this work for everybody?
Yes.
We good? Thank you. Thank you. Appreciating the responses, whether they're this way or they're this way or whatever they are. So good. All right, well, let's get started today. Want to show you something first before we get too started. I'm going to use an image today, and I want you to see it before I do it. When we bring our arms up, there's this real tendency for us to bring, because we were doing that last week, when we bring our arms up, there's this real tendency to bring our shoulders up, right? At the same time. But one thing I have found is if you imagine, like, it's nice if they float up, that helps. That helps people keep their shoulders down. But the other thing is, if you just imagine that your arm has an extension, both of them, out the back, and that it's kind of like a teeter-totter and, a seesaw, and the back goes down, like someone could push on it, and up comes your arm. So I'm going to use, I'm going to say something like levering your arm up, levering your arm up. And that's how it's going to be, how it's going to be. So when we do this move, and your arms either float up or not, I want you to realize that something's going down and back. Just keep that in mind, and you'll be less likely to, kind of do this. You'll be more likely to keep your shoulders down, and your body position and your balance and everything will be better. Make sense? So image in your mind. I'm really into images. You found out that out last week. We'll have some more extra things to show you today's class as well. So let's get moving. First of all, we did this last week. I want to go through the joints. We won't do this every week, so you can always do that before you come. But first of all, just kind of get things loose, and if there's any particular part of you or way you like to get your body, like loose, whatever that way is, like just do what makes sense to you. Oh yeah, I even got some yawns that time. That's great. So yeah, so do that. And then we did this last week. I really recommend it, especially if a crunchy neck. It's the little chicken neck. In, out. You don't have to go. Remember that 70% rule. You don't have to go too far. And then you're going to come in, and then you're going to relax after you're in. So you're going to have gone out and come in and relax after going, and then you're going to turn your neck from side to side. Doing that exercise tends to align our head. So when you're trying to align, some of us walk around this world with our chins and our faces sticking out. I think we look at computer screens or something too much. This allows us to get it back in and back in alignment. All right, looks good. How are those shoulders? Do you want to shrug them a little bit? Yeah, and maybe back a little and up and forward and down. And maybe there's a hoodie, it's coming all, you're a turtle, somehow. Only you're bringing your shell up over your head. Again, just do what feels comfortable. If your shoulders are talking to you for some reason, or your neck, and it's not comfortable, do something else right now. This is not required. And then maybe the other way, over your face and down the other way, all the way down. Maybe even when you go down, you think of putting those shoulders sort of in the pockets behind, like you had blue jeans on your shoulders and they come into pockets right behind your shoulder where your shoulder blades are. Ah, that feels good. All right. And then we can, just twist here. Now I told you last week we need a chair this week, but we need it next week. So I want to tell you right now, next week, we're going to be working on this kind of a move. We're going to work on how we turn our upper body and how we can do that independently of our lower body and how we can transmit power through it. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff like that next week. So I want you to bring a chair because it's going to help us next week. Great. And now that hula hoop, we found out that we had some hula hoopers. So however it feels good to, hula hoop or, I don't know, maybe belly dance if some of you guys do that. Again, you want to feel sort of extended up and just get those hips moving, sort of drop your butt a little bit, get them moving. You can put your feet together if they are comfortable, together or nearby. Put your hands on your knees. If this works for you, works for most people, you can just sort of work on them and back the other way. And then we can stand a bit on one foot. You've still got the other foot here if you need it. And you can turn around, get that ankle. Yeah, nice. This is when we can already start sort of hooking our head up. And your other one? All right, good. Pauline, I didn't say hi. Hello.
Hi.
Nice to see you here.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Or not see you, as the case may be, but I do know you're here.
I'm not sure why I'm not showing. I'm not sure what to do.
Down in your left-hand corner, perhaps of your screen, there'll be a little video. Looks like a video camera. And if there's a red line through it, you want to just click it. It's a toggle switch. It turns your camera on and off. You might also have a camera on your computer. Oh, there you go. Ha, okay. Done.
Thank you.
Terrific. All right, fabulous. All right, well, now we're going to do in cloud hands. There is the very beginning of cloud hands is prepare. We're going to run through what prepare is and get ourselves into that position. First thing, your feet are about shoulder width apart. When your feet are shoulder width apart, you've also hooked yourself to a cloud. So imagine the very top of your head at the end of your spine. And remember, you might want to chicken head your head in and then just let it sit there, you know, once it's in, relaxed. It may come out a little, but it won't come out probably as far as it was. And then fishbowl on top of your head, balancing that. Maybe it's a little, that fish are magnetic or something, you know, and they're kind of pulling the water up a little bit. And now I want you to feel like that's almost like a coat hanger, and your body is just hanging on the coat hanger, like you were a puppet. Just hang there. Your shoulders are going to go down. You're going to hang there. And I want you to let all the weight in your body just get into your legs and feet. Can you do that? You're just very extended. In fact, how about your spine? Maybe it's lengthening. Maybe you're going to get, just think about that. You're not trying to pull it. It's just that your head's somehow going up a little higher. This looks really great, guys. And all the little kinks are coming out. And your arms are just hanging. Matter of fact, there's some little weights on the end of your middle fingers, just pulling them down. We're going to check out the bottoms of our feet now. Are they on the ground? Yep, they are. But are you feeling them on the ground? Are you feeling centered? Is your weight only in one foot? You could sway a little, get a feel for that. Are you feeling your feet? Yeah. Feeling your feet? Can you get sort of centered? Can you feel the weight pretty much on your whole foot? The whole part, everything of both feet. What about those knees? What about those knees? Have you locked them or come close to locking them? Let's pretend we're sitting in a chair. Keep everything the same way. You're still sort of suspended. You're getting permission from the fish to balance. And you're just gonna, there's a pretty high chair right there, but you're gonna try to put your butt on it. Yeah, great, come up. Yeah, and then you're gonna come down a little bit. Yeah, oh, that's great. And then you're gonna come up, you've got that fishbowl on top of your head, but you're not gonna really fully straighten your legs. They're straight, but they're soft. Does that make sense? And that, one more time, that reaching for the chair feeling with your butt, you're going to try to keep that because this could relax your lower back. This looks great, guys. Wonderful. This is prepare. And now I just want you to listen and do. You're going to feel the back of your upper back, a little spot sort of right in the center of your shoulder blades. And everything's going to start stretching just gently a little bit from the center of your shoulder blades, and start, your back's going to get a little bigger there. And it's going to turn your upper arms. And then your upper arms, they're going to lever and float up like they're filling with helium, and they're extended. And when they get to shoulder height, helium's going to go out of your upper arms first, and your elbows will droop. Your hands will come a little bit up. You're going to push a beach ball down into the water. You're going to get to a point where you're going to realize you can't push anymore. Where is that point? Is it up here? Is it down here? Where is it for you? There's a point which you can feel, if you're imagining pushing, where there'd be no push left. You're stopping there, and then you're coming back. And again, from the center of that upper back, It's curving your arms so your palms are back. You're levering up and then coming down this time. We're going to sit on that chair when we go down. And then we're coming up, and it's like waves through beautiful foamy water. Now, the first position we were in was prepare. And what we're doing now is related to opening. And what we did first when we stopped at that point, that was opening. And you can either bend your knees or not. These are positions in Tai Chi. So here you are in your second class, and you've got 2 of them. Just enjoy this movement. Nice. Now follow what I'm doing. My arms are going to come out, and they're going to bend at the elbows. And now I'm going down, pushing down in front of me. And then they're going to just hang down and go out as I come up. Bend at the elbows and push down. You can sink as low as you want, or you can sink maybe an inch. Doesn't matter. Remember, when you sink, you're sinking like you're sitting, reaching for a chair with your bottom. And that chair's pretty high, so you don't have to go down super far. Nice. Now we're going to go up higher this time. We're going to look up towards the moon at about 45 degrees and come down and bring our heads back, just looking level. And up to look at the moon and down. You've still got a fishbowl on your head. And up to look at the moon and down. Everything is extended. Those shoulders just stay where they are. Oh, this looks so great, guys. And one more time. Nice. And we're going to come up this time, and we're going to come in. And now you're hugging a tree. You're hugging a tree, and your knees are bent. Your elbows droop. Relax relax those shoulders. The tree's going to breathe. And now it's like one of the great West Coast trees as you come up. And then it's going to breathe out. And you're going to keep your arms around that tree. Not really making a joke about tree huggers here. Just enjoy the breath of the tree. If you want to match your breath to it, you can or not. We're going to talk a little bit about this later. Can you feel it through your whole arms? Can you feel your shoulder sort of joints opening and closing? And can you keep feeling a circle? A circle that's growing. It starts the size of the hugger tree, and you've almost closed the circle. And it gets huge. How big is that circle? Imagine it. It goes across your back. And it goes across your front, almost as one circle. Everything's a circle. And we're going to do one more. And as we come back, we're going to stand up this time as our hands go down. Just to the point where we can't push anymore. How was that? Anyone have any thoughts on that?
My arms are out of shape.
Where are you feeling it?
Shoulders, right below the shoulder.
Right below the shoulder here?
Yeah, right there.
Yeah, okay. So this is a very good sign. So shake it out. Stop whenever you want when you're doing this. This is a very good sign. Shake it out. It's telling you something, isn't it? Your body's talking to you. It's a good thing. And the other thing is that I just want to tell you that 6 weeks from now, that's going to get a lot easier. It's going to be easier likely before that. And if you do a little of these every day, it's going to be easier all the time. And it's not necessarily that you're building muscles. You're also stretching certain things while you do it. And you're helping to integrate your connective tissue. So part of it is muscles, but being in shape is also that your body structure has been in the right positions in order to organize itself. So we're going to be encouraging that when we're doing Tai Chi. This will make you stronger and stronger for any given amount of effort. So people who do Tai Chi are often able to do amazing things with seemingly no effort at all. And that's because they got their bodies in the perfect position and their bodies have gotten used to those positions. So that's part of what you're learning when you're learning that here. Any other comments? Was that okay? Too much, too little? Okay, it was all right. All right, good, good. I'm glad. I'm very, very glad. Okay, so we did those last week. I'm going to send out an email to everybody, but in those exercises we just did, those are also part of a series of wellness exercises that were designed for use in China for COVID-19. And so, you know, they can be done by your hospital bedside if you're able to get it up. So those are part of the first 3 exercises. They're exercises I've used a lot anyway, but it's really cool to see them being used internationally right now. So I'll send you a link so that you can, if you want to do those at home, there's music that goes with it. You know, you can just enjoy doing those as well. And as I said, they include activities that we do in Cloud Hands. So this is going to help you too. I promised you, I wanted to ask how many people who are here tonight were able to were able to watch the video that Master Yang had of Cloud Hands. Did anyone take a look at that? Okay, about half of us did. So what I want to do is I recommend that to you. You can always look at it if you want, and you can follow along as we learned more. But right now you don't know a lot. And I will keep sending out that link for folks. It's not required that you do it, but I did want to show you what Cloud Hands looks like. This is what you're learning. And I also want to say that if you are somebody who finds parts of this challenging, if we're doing something really large, you can do it small, you can do it lower. If we're taking steps and doing stuff with your hands is difficult, you can adjust it and adjust it to just staying still while you do it. So there's a lot of opportunity. I'm going to show you the real Cloud Hands, and you're going to recognize some of the things we've already done today. So one of the things we're going to do shortly is we're going to work again like we did last week on just being able to move sideways. And we're going to do practice on that very soon. But guess what? This is prepare. And I'm not expecting you guys to be able to do this. If you want to follow along, you can if you have some experience. But You probably just want to watch, is my guess. And then here comes opening. So we were doing this earlier. And then this is cloud hands. And we're going to start learning these arms today. We did this today and this. So that's cloud hands. There's a lot of other things one can add to it as well, into that sequence. This is also a very helpful sequence, and it includes turning your torso. It includes work on your balance. It includes building strength. It's also very graceful, and you can do it in a small amount of space. And if you're sick sometime and you have to be sitting in a chair, you can do it sitting in a chair. So I figure I'll be doing cloud hands forever. So I give this to you guys as a gift, or you're giving it to yourself as a gift in learning it. All right, so this is what we're learning as our beginning moves, to learn a lot of skills which we can then use in any Tai Chi moves. So that's what we're about. Make sense? All right, we're good? Good. All right, I wanna, we have at least one person here today who wasn't here the last time, and I had planned, so this all works out perfectly, I had planned that we'd do just a little bit of Furry Friends. Do you remember at the end of Furry Friends, we did Furry Friends in a corridor? And so, Teresa, weren't you the one who's new today? Yes? Okay. So what Furry Friends is all about is whatever small furry friends you like, kittens or puppies or hamsters or whatever it is, we're gonna roll in a cloud on the floor so you don't have to look down. Just keep looking out, but keep your eyes open. Roll yourself a personal cloud onto the floor so you can't see your feet. I'm not gonna let you see my feet either. And then what I want you to do is get to sort of one side. I don't care what side you get to. I'm gonna go this way. And I want you to imagine you're in a corridor. And you can touch the wall if you want. That might help you feel like a sense of balance, right? And these furry friends are all around. I mean, they're all around. And you have to get, from here to there. So what I want you to do is start to move. We're going to move sideways because that's what we have to do in cloud hands. So if you want to put your hands on the wall, you can put your hands on the wall, or reach out this way, or maybe there's a bar in front of you. But I just want you to do that. I want you to go ahead and move. And every time you're putting your foot down, there's like 2 little tiny furry friends that might be underfoot. So you take a step. It can be a big step or a little step, doesn't matter. I want you to make progress down the hall. When you pick a foot up, somebody goes under it immediately. And now you're going to put the foot down and something's there. What are you going to do? Everywhere you step, there's somebody there. Maybe you pet them with your foot as it goes down. You have to pick your foot up though. And then maybe you go back the other way. Now I want you to get conscious. What's happening as you do this? What's hard and what's easy for you? Are your legs straight or are your knees bending? Which works better? Is your head very level? Does that help? What's happening with your balance? Make sure you're picking those feet up, putting them down. Something's darting underneath. Oh my gosh, there's another one there coming right. Brought his friends. Oh my gosh, it's like a party under your feet. All right, I'm going to blow out the cloud. The friends are going to go with it. You're back and you're, get rid of the corner walls. You're fine. So Teresa, what did you figure out? Anything?
I like to bend my knees.
Why did you like that? Do you know?
I felt more stable.
You felt more stable. I do too. Anyone else have that experience? Not everybody has the same experience. I see people experimenting. What do you think, Bob? Bent knees, not bent knees? What else? Oh, no, not sure what happened.
There you go.
There you go.
I noticed that when I bring my feet back together, if I bring them too close, it's harder to balance. So I have to kind of keep some distance between my feet at all times.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So balancing like a pin is pretty hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
But balancing where you have your shoulders and your feet about under your shoulders, maybe that's easier. Or maybe for you, a little bit apart. Everybody's a little different. So that's something that you can figure out. Now, let's actually just experiment for a minute. If we bend our knees a little and we step out, how far do you want to step out? Do you have a sense that you could take your foot back? So bend your knees just a little and try it. And go over and come in. And then bend your knees a lot, but not so much that you're not stable. Make sure you can stand on one foot there. And can you reach further? Not as far. So you can take it back. This is a great test of your balance. And the more your knees are bent, the bigger steps you can take. So some of you are probably going to do cloud hands with small steps because you're not going to want to bend your knees very much until your knees get strong, your legs get stronger. And some of you are going to go, oh, well, I've been doing lots of knee bends. And you may find that you really enjoy taking larger steps. How about your center? Someone who was here last week, I can't remember who it was now, talked about when they moved their center, before they could lift their foot up, their center line, like I call it a Tai Chi pole, had to be over their other foot. Then they could lift their foot up. So experiment with that for a minute. Put that Tai Chi line, you see mine right here? Where is your Tai Chi line? And when you get to the center and it's equal, where is your Tai Chi line? Yeah, the center of your body. Vanuka's going like this. Yeah. And you can kind of do that. You can say, where's my line? Where's my line? You can track it. How are your feet moving right now? How do you pick one up? What comes up first? What goes down first? Is it the same each time? When you're going sideways? What comes up first? And what do you reach out with? Anyone have an answer?
It feels like I'm not doing it. It's pretty flat-footed.
Pretty flat-footed. Pauline, this is interesting. This is often what we do when we're doing something new that we're unsure of.
My balance is very bad.
Yes, well, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. It's a very good thing to be doing. So you're reaching out and you're keeping your foot, I bet, fairly close.
Yes.
And you're probably putting the whole side of your foot down and then coming over it. So for you, and that is one way to do it. In fact, believe it or not, that's the way Grandmaster Yang Jun talks about. If you want to get your feet forward, you can always do that. This is always acceptable to be able to do that. And you can also slide your foot if you want to a little bit, or you can just sort of sway a little bit back and forth. Now I want to talk one more time. Now you guys realize you're getting a lot of exercise while you're doing this, right? Look at my cheeks. They're red. They're red, right? You guys remember this? Any of you?
Yeah.
Oh, what's fun. I know where you can get the big ones like this. They will go downstairs. Almost nothing goes downstairs these days, but this is a really good one, all right? So if you want to know where to get a really good slinky, I can connect you. Have children, grandchildren, I mean, slinkies never go old. But I want you to think about the weight. I want you to do this one more time. And like, what's your weight doing, right? Like, it starts out all on one side. And then you reach out, because you're able to do that, Slinky can't. And you put a little over there, like a toe or a part of the whole foot, and then you fill it. You fill it with weight. And you've emptied out the other one. So check that out. Let's do it one more time. Follow my call. We're gonna, and probably is a good idea to have your feet a little bit apart. Bring your center over onto this leg. Completely fill this leg. When the other one, like a slinky, is empty, and again, you may want to have bent your knees, then take a step out. It can be a big step or a little step. And then fill that other foot. Fill that other foot. Let the heel come up of this foot, and then the toe, if you are able. Get your line on the other one. This one's now empty. And then fill it. Filling, 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 bringing your center over. The other one gets completely empty, so you can feel that you can pick it up. Hook yourself to that cloud. Being straight will help. Fill, 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 fill. Empty, 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 empty. Nice. And bend your knee a little more as you're able. Maybe take a bigger step. Bend this other knee till you're centered. You're now half full on each side, keep going. This leg now doesn't look so bent. I'm not doing this, I'm doing this. And maybe one more if you have room where you can go back the other way. Empty and full. When this becomes full, this one becomes empty. And it can fill again. We good? Little steps are fine. Staying pretty high is fine. Always soft knees. Find the place where it feels natural to you. You're going to be doing stuff with your arms all week. This week, you can keep your head up. You can shuffle along your floor if you want to shuffle. You can also do this activity. I'm sorry, you probably can't see my feet. Do this activity. See if you can smooth it out. Because we're going to start doing this, or if you want, you can just shift back and forth. Shift back and forth. Shift back and forth. And we're going to start doing arms. Any questions about that? Comments? I think it's really cool because I'm seeing people continuing to think. I can see that. I can see you continuing to move. So I know that you're involved with this. So I appreciate that. It's never a bad idea to keep doing something if you're interested in it. All right. The practice will do you good, and following up while it's still fresh in your mind is a good thing. In fact, if you do this before you go to bed tonight, it will help you solidify what we did today. All right. I want to show you next week, I think, actually, I'm looking at the time. Next week, I am going to show you more about the hand position. And, but I do want to show you the following. So we call this a Queen's wave. So Queen Elizabeth, yeah, you know, if she goes like this all the time, or this all the time, or this all the time, that's just really exhausting. But if all you do is turn your forearm, you see that? It's not my wrist, it's my forearm. For most of us, it's just a twist, a little bit of a twist of the bones. Call that a Queen's wave. And in Tai Chi, this is our sort of shape. You've seen this before. It can look like this, or you can look like this, or it can look like this. But it's always a part of a circle. Everything's a circle in Tai Chi. But it can also, you can just have this part of it. So it's still kind of like a circle. It's still part of a circle, but now it's in front of me. All right, we were doing this, we were doing hug a tree. Remember that? We were hugging a tree today, and the tree got bigger. I want you to notice that this is moving on you, right? You're opening and closing this joint when you do this, right? A little bit. So we're going to do a little of that on cloud hands, not necessarily a lot, not really big tree. We're going to go from a very small tree in cloud hands to a bigger one. And this is how we're going to do it. So sometimes we are going to Queen's wave, pull. So here we are, turn it, Queen's wave, pull. Yeah. So, you know, you could imagine there's somebody else here, and I connect with them, and then my arm goes down and pulls. You see? That's that pull. You're like pulling on something. You connected and you pulled. And that's actually, you know, what you're doing in the martial arts aspect of cloud hands, right? You're connecting with someone and you're sort of throwing them down. So they were punching at you right here, and you connected and were able to deflect them. So let's do it with the other arm. Queen's wave. Okay, Remember, not flipping somebody off, not here, here. That's it, that's it. Queen's wave pull. All right, so that's a Queen's wave pull. I wanted to give you that first. Now let's just put our hands up. We did a little this drop, up, drop, and up, and out. Yeah, that was a Queen's wave. So start again. Here we are. Drop, up. Now, up, Queen's wave, out, like you're pushing out. Yeah, that's it, that's it, that's it. And back here, up, out. All right, now I want you to get a finger to finger paint with. So we're gonna be like this, get an index finger or a couple fingers, whatever you want. Think about your fingers, but it's easier if you just think about kind of doing it with your finger first. I want you to draw an oval. So here we go, we're gonna Queen's wave, and we're gonna mark like on a glass in front of us. We're gonna do this sort of oval, and we're gonna come out to open this just a little bit, come out here, nice. And then we're just gonna let it drop and come up. Can you do that? Fabulous. Fabulous. All right, and could you do that with your whole hand? Queen's wave, out, drop. See how Queen's wave, you go palm out and you pull, and then when it's farthest away, it falls and comes in. It's just an oval. And you're not, there's a little opening here, but not much. So this elbow almost stays put and it stays down. Do you see how my elbow is below my shoulder? So we're not doing this. The elbow's not making the circle. The shoulder's not making the circle. It's like around the elbow, like one of the foci of this, like kind of like a circle. Great. How about we do it with the other hand? So here it is. You could even sort of sit it there. We're gonna sort of Queen's wave and scratch, you know, like along the glass, down, and then with the back of your nails. And then right when you're coming up to this, up at the center, you're gonna Queen's wave, and you can either do it with your finger or your whole hand. Nice. Nice. So you see, I'm doing this fairly far away from me. Okay? Now, here's the trick. I'm introducing it to you now, and we'll do a lot of practice with this next week. All right? I promise. So we can get two of these going at the same time, right? So up, out with those fingers, down, up, out, down. Make hands now. Up, grab, pull, out, down, up. Relax those shoulders. Now here's the trick. Leave the bottom hand, leave one of the hands down. Bring the other hand out, Queen's wave. And then it starts to come down. This one is going to start to come up, but there's this moment when this is its furthest. The fingers of this hand are going to point to the forearm here. So check that out. Get your fingers pointing towards your forearm. Nice. Now, this one inside hand comes up. It's going to come up, and this one's going to come down. And then it's going to, at one point, look like this, kind of. Queen's wave at the top hand. And it's keep starting down. The other one is starting up. There you go. Beautiful. This hand's going to come up, but here's that farthest point, and the fingers are pointing towards your forearm. Here. This inside hand goes up, outside hand goes down and flips. Queen's wave right in front of you. And over and up. Tricky, huh? And up. Queen's wave. Furthest point. Your arm is pretty extended. Up. This is crazy, huh? All right, so next week, we are going to get close to mastering this. Anyone feel like they're patting their head and rubbing their stomach at the same time?
Oh yeah.
Teresa, did you have something to say, or you were just saying, yeah, yeah, yeah? Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. How are those arms feeling? Because we've done a lot of shoulder work here. People's pectoral muscles or something, talking to them at all? You doing okay?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
You okay? I don't want to overwork you. Okay. All right. We have a little time left, so let's cool down together. Let's just do a few of the exercise we did before. So remember, prepare, hook yourself up and stick your feet, glue your feet down, feeling extended. Then we're going to do that opening move where it spreads across our back. Our arms fill with helium and get levered up. And then they're going to come down, and I'm actually going to bend my knees. I'm pushing that ball, feel that ball go into water. And then at the bottom, I'm going to bring my arms out and come down. And out and come down. And this time we're going to go up and look at the moon. Good time of day to do that. Oh, there's snow tonight. Let's do one more of those. Stretching up and down. And then let's talk to the trees a little bit. Let's come up and in. Tree. It's always a circle. It's always a circle. Nice. And in, just like it's breathing. That circle never goes away. So your breath is going to be in your abdomen, all the way deep like you were sleeping. The tree's breath is in its roots, but somehow it's manifest here. Nice. Your chest hardly moves. This time we're going to come in and down. And we're going to drag our fingers through warm sand. We're feeling very grounded. We're going to grab up some of that warm sand. And as you're able, we'll rise on our balls of our feet and then let the sand go out our fingertips. And we're going to drag our fingers through the sand. It's warm. Grab some up. Squeeze and let it come out of your fingers. And drag your fingers through the sand. Squeeze and out. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for the videos that we can look at too.
Yeah, I'll send out
That's-
something else. Yeah,
Okay.
with the wellness one too. But yeah, so did you look at it, Dorothy?
I
before?
did. I looked at it twice, but I was having hand and feet coordination issues.
Oh,
but,
you will. I did. I
Mhm.
did. I mean, it's in my body now, and even occasionally I'm like, huh? So yeah, it's like any of these activities. If I told you to pretend to throw a ball, you'd know how to do it. But if I tried to teach you how to do it in pantomime, it'd be hard.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so any of these things, it's all about just getting our bodies familiar with it.
And can I just ask you one more question?
Sure.
I tend to start leaning a little forward instead of keeping that. Is there a way to really stop that when I'm doing these movements, or is that just something I need to learn?
I think the first step in any of that is to be conscious of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Another thing that you can do, if you're really hooking your head and suspending your head,
Mm-hmm.
and you're feeling your weight on your entire foot, so it may be coming forward because you're not having the weight on your heels.
Okay.
It could also, so see, I have my weight forward now. You can see it, can't you?
Yes.
Maybe you can't, but now it's not.
Yeah, I do see that.
So that's one of the things that I sometimes have people do. I actually have them play with that. Like, how can you intentionally get that experience? You can also get that experience because maybe your lower back is tight,
Mm.
and you're
Mhm.
kind of like this way all the time, and then you're trying to put your head up. But look, this doesn't look right, does it?
No.
Right. But if you can relax, tricky, huh? Relax that lower back, right? Because we all run around kind of like that.
Oh, yeah.
Relax that lower back. That's where the sitting in the chair will help. But all the time, you want to feel your entire foot on the ground, unless sort of we're doing something like picking a foot up. If we're
Mhm.
doing something like picking a foot up, then you've got to release it somewhere.
Mhm.
Right? And
Okay.
today, most of us were releasing our heels first when we're moving sideways, and then bringing our toe in and putting our toe down first, and then releasing our heel first. When we walk forward, we all, look at that. We walk forward, we put our heel down first.
Mhm. Okay.
So, and that's true in Tai Chi also. So I think just being really conscious and small steps, and feeling your feet. An awful lot of your proprioceptive, your balance reception is in your feet. The good news is, even if, I mean, I have a student who had pretty severe neuropathy in feet, and he now does the whole long form, including kicks. Now he's very careful about how he does the kicks. He's not doing a kick like this,
Mhm.
but he's very, very careful about it. But he has developed, if he only has 10%, he's using that 10%.
Oh, okay.
He's
Okay.
absolutely, and his brain has learned to pay attention to that 10% and to pay attention to everything else. So I think keeping, so if you find you have a tendency, there's lots of things for us to check. And the other thing we can do is, if you adjust your camera so I can see more of your torso,
Oh, okay. Okay.
then the chances of my seeing something like this, or something, like people who are falling back might be doing something like that. They're like sitting down, but they're sitting down like this, they may
Okay.
have their head maybe up, or, or a lot of people do this. This weighs 10 pounds,
It feels like it.
Yeah, it weighs 10 pounds. So that chicken head activity helps some.
Mm-hmm.
That's, without seeing you, it's hard to tell. But
Okay.
always ask questions like that, because it also helps to remind you what you want to pay attention. Because in the end, you might come back in 2 weeks and say, I've been thinking about it. I think it has something to do with this. you know? I mean, you'll figure out where else in your life it's happening or not happening. Like, I'm doing this. It doesn't seem to be a problem for me,
Okay. Okay.
or it's a problem for me here too. Because hopefully what you're learning in here will also just help you in your day-to-day life.
Well, I'm sure it will.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well,
Anybody else? Is it okay for you guys today?
Yes.
that was great.
Thank
Great.
you.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'll see you next week.